What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we're going to be talking about something that I'm going to say right now. Nothing is confirmed. This is all just a theory. This is all just talking about potential stuff with 2K, and this is all just my opinion and what I believe is going to be the case. I just want to say this right now because I know for a fact that some people will take this as me confirming something that may or may not be coming in the game. Also, I also think that there will be other people that will be talking about this like it's something that's confirmed. I think that what happened in the last hour or so, it kind of gives credit to some theories. A theory that I had as well. It gives a lot of credit to it, but it does not mean anything. Now, before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are obviously, if you guys just look at the channel, there is more MyTEAM content here than anywhere else on YouTube. But anyway, now let's get on to it. So lads, if you guys don't know, there's buzzer beater cards today. So buzzer beater cards obviously are pretty okay. Some really underrated cards, some pretty good cards, some not great cards. But if you guys looked at, say, Jerry West right here, you can see right now his picture is Jerry West. But today, it has not always been Jerry West. It hasn't. So if you guys were looking at these auctions at the very start, this is what Jerry West came. This is what the picture was for Jerry West. This is what the picture was for Jerry West, which is kind of crazy. It's obviously a WNBA picture. Unfortunately, like I'm gonna say this right now, I'm not that. It's not that I not a big fan of women's basketball. I watch a hell of a lot of Super League basketball over here. I just don't watch much NBA, and I watch even less WNBA. So I don't know who that is. But that's what Jerry West was for Onyeka Okongwu. This is the picture for Onyeka Okongwu right here. And then for the Diamond RJ Hampton card, which Hampton is here. For RJ Hampton, another WNBA picture. So obviously you guys can see these right here, that they had WNBA players in their pictures. And that has kind of led everybody, including myself, led everyone to think that it's a hint for tomorrow. That it's a hint for tomorrow we're getting some sort of WNBA packs. And I'm not going to dismiss it because anything is possible in this game. I'm going to say this right now. Anything is possible. But it's a bit of a weird one because I'm trying to find where if there anywhere where I can find these pictures. Because if I could find these pictures somewhere, you could realistically do a good job of confirming or denying whether this was a mistake or whether this is something that's new in the game. For example, like when you guys look at rosters, I don't know if you can find a roster with WNBA players. And that is one of the problems with me, is that when you search in rosters, sorry if things are slow, I'm on Xbox, you can see right here, like with all the players, they all have their PNG pictures, unless obviously the ones that were traded. Jeff Teague plays for the Hawks now? Learn something new every day. No, Hawks again. But as you guys can see, they all have their PNG pictures in there with their teams, and as well as the face pictures at the kind of at the top. However, I don't think you can check WNBA, which is a little bit of a problem, what pictures they have for what players. Because if, for example, if these pictures of these WNBA players were just players that were taken from their rosters, then it's very, very likely a case of just them putting the wrong pictures on. But again, you can't really see it. The only way you can find a WNBA, I don't think you can see WNBA rosters anywhere. Like, the only way I've been able to find is by WNBA Play now. And there is, the more I think about it, the more I think this is just a mistake on 2K's part. Because initially I did think we were going to see WNBA players in game. However, like, if you guys can see, they only have kind of headshots, so you don't know where these PNGs have came from. However, the leaked pictures are none of Liz Cambridge, Elena delle, Maya Moore, Brianna Stewart. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce her name. Nneka, I think, or Candace Parker. Nneka's on ESPN a lot. Again, I probably butchered that name. I'm sorry if I have. Candace Parker, again, a big name. Obviously, Delle, a big name in WNBA. Brittany Griner, a huge name. Diana Taurasi, a huge name. So see Maya Moore. So I think that if we are going to be seeing any WNBA players, we're going to be seeing a lot of them. We're going to be seeing a lot of the really big names from the WNBA. Because while, yeah, they may not be household names in terms of non-basketball fans, the basketball fans, there are a lot of household names in the WNBA. So I can't see them releasing a set of WNBA players without mainly basing it around those cards or those players, especially because a lot of those players are taller. Like, for example, if they juice up the stats, Brittany Griner or Liz Cambridge could be usable in-game. Delle Donne could be usable in-game. They could make Taurasi, although like they'll be tiny. They could make Diana Taurasi like a, probably not a dunker, but a, what's his name? Earl Boykins type player who could be a little bit of fun to use. So it is very, very hard to tell what is going on. It is very hard to tell because obviously a lot of people are going to jump to conclusions, including myself. Like, as soon as LaMelo Ball came out, as soon as that card came out, I made the prediction that there were going to be WNBA players in NBA 2K20. However, this right here, this is not confirming or denying anything. Because 2K have made a mistake with pictures quite a lot. If you guys don't remember, was it Kobe White? When 20th anniversary, or when 20 Set Series 2 came out, so many of the pictures were wrong. Kobe White and RJ Barrett had their pictures mixed up in the first moments of the week. If you guys go into regular rosters and you're using Galaxy Opal Carmelo, a lot of people don't know this, but his picture is a WNBA player. Michael Beasley in regular rosters, his picture is Diana Taurasi. So 2K have been making the mistake the last couple of weeks of putting WNBA players in for NBA players. However, 2K may have been doing all that on purpose to hint at it. Because if there's one thing I've learned from 2K is a lot of 2K's quote-unquote mistakes, I'm pretty sure are on purpose. I am so sure a lot of them, quote, mistakes are actually stuff to drive hype and stuff to give people hints. So it is a really, really difficult thing to predict 2K. I did think we were going to get WNBA players. I still think at some stage it's not out of the question that we get WNBA players, but I'm not entirely sure if this leak... Are these three from the same team? Yeah, these are three players from the same team, which means that there's, in all likelihood, 2K just typed in the wrong assets for the picture. For example, they have all their pictures on a database. Their cards are, like, every card is labeled number-wise. If you guys don't know, you can see it on any of the database sites because there's like numbers for the cards. That's how 2K labeled them. They probably have the images labeled on cards, and they probably just pressed the wrong three numbers for these cards right here. Or maybe it was a case of, say, Ilgauskas was one number, and then the following three numbers were WNBA players, and they didn't realize that they were just going 1+1+1+1. So I think this is probably a legitimate mistake more than anything with these specific players. However, you cannot rule out the fact that there's potentially WNBA players. Again, I don't know who these players are. I think it is highly, highly unlikely that we get 3 WNBA players from the same team in whatever set we get. I think it is highly unlikely. Unless that's the team with Griner, Taurasi, and they want to give somebody else. I also think that if we do get a WNBA set again, as I've said, it will be the more well-known players. But one thing that I've learned, and I've learned it after I lost $50, basically betting that LaMelo Ball was not going to come out, that you can never predict anything based on logic with 2K. Like, by logic would state that 2K wouldn't release a bunch of Opal college players before they release an Opal Westbrook or Lillard, but they did. Logic would state that 2K would, or logic, if you had logic, you'd think that 2K would release a Galaxy Opal Westbrook before they released a bunch of WNBA players. But at the same time, this could be a mistake, it could be a hint. And and again, with 2K, a lot of their mistakes are really just hints in disguise. So I just don't know. Do I think these specific players are going to be in the game? Unlikely. Do I think we get WNBA players? I think it's 50-50. I really do. I'm on the side of, as much as I did call it, I think that this specific scenario may just be a mistake. I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I think that my opinion on whether we get WNBA players or not has not been really changed too much by this scenario. I previously thought we probably would. I still think it's probably a 60% chance we get WNBA players, a 40% chance we don't. But do not take this as a leak. Do not take this. I know the title is going to be like leak question mark. Again, you got to get views somehow. But I know for a fact there are going to be a lot of people saying that it's confirmed. I made a joke tweet earlier because I called this weeks ago. And after seeing this, I was like, call me Mystic Mick. And it was a joke. I'm not trying to say that this is guaranteed. But I think it's more likely than not that we get WNBA players. However, I don't think it's like an 80-20, a 95-5% chance. I think it's more of a 60-40 chance. So I would not be surprised to see. I think more than likely we see them, but I also would not be surprised to not see them. That's the position I'm in. But anyway, that is the video. Obviously, the community kind of got into uproar because of 3 wrong pictures on cards. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.